Okay.
So the question is, why do we do this? It seems like a lot of work, but uh, so basically, I think the most important resource for a grass rancher, grass farmer, is growing grass. And so, how do you create conditions that are good for growing grass? Well, you want to definitely capture the moisture that you get from free from nature. And so how do you do that? You do that by creating good cover. And how do you create good cover? Well, you take care of your grasses so you'll grow a lot of grass, but you also use your cattle in a way that benefits them and the grass. And so by moving our cattle often, we're allowing our grass to grow a lot before we come back to it. So when they graze it, they're also knocking a lot of ground grass down and creating a good litter on the surface here. And by having better capturing and holding our moisture longer, we're supporting better succession. So we're getting more diverse grasses, more diverse forbs, and so we're looking for diversity. We're trying to get, our goal would be to get 100% ground cover. Um, and the best way to accomplish that is through, we think, is like high density grazing for short periods of time with long rest. So we're combining long rest that's good for the grass. We're, we're using this high stock density to get that impact from the animal that we think actually enhances good growth. Like this pasture we're leaving here, here it is the end of May. Sometimes if we get adequate moisture in June, this pasture here may grow as much grass as a pasture that doesn't get grazed at all because of the stimulus of just having the cattle on it for a short period of time before a seed set. And so it's really going to respond if we get average moisture. So even though we're moving through and using this cover like this even during the high growing period, I suspect on an average year, well I don't suspect, I know, we will get a lot of regrowth. But we'll ideally, I would like not to go back on a piece of ground, at least for a growing season. For like, our goal is like about 450, 500 days. So it gets grazed for 2 days and rests for over a year. that that's the ideal. But to me, the equation is, what can you do that optimizes the performance of your cattle, optimizes the performance of your land, and does it in a way that optimizes, your working conditions and your quality of life. So someone might say, "Gee, this is a lot of work, Bill." Yes, it is. It is sort of a lot of work, but we don't hay, we don't farm, we just move cows. And so if we can maintain a good infrastructure, maintain a good water infrastructure, and attend to the health of the cattle, make sure they're always on good feed and they're in a high plane of nutrition. We meet our benchmarks of getting these bred upright. We have very little health problems. If our conception's good, which it usually is, it was a little bit lower last year because of the clover, I think, so, in a sort of an awkward way. Um, so in the end, we all as ranchers, we got to be profitable, but we also have to enjoy our life. And we work hard, but I love doing this. I enjoy putting animals on fresh feed. In fact, that's probably the most enjoyable thing in the world, is seeing these cows that you're looking at here that are in a condition score 5 or better at calving, and they're going on a fresh feed. They love it. They're happy. I'm happy to do it. And I'm always walking on my land. I'm putting up these temporary fences, putting these cattle on 30 to 40 acres every day. And it's not always that way. We'll have periods longer than that. But every time I put up a temporary fence, I'm looking at my ground. I'm looking at the plants. I'm looking at the wildlife. We want to optimize wildlife as well. We're really into birds, and so we monitor. We have someone, third party, who's been monitoring this place for 20 years, so he can tell us if our trend's right. The birds can tell us if our trend's right. The cattle and their condition will tell us if the trend's right, and my peace of mind. And I won't be silly here. I have as much anxiety as the next rancher with all the external crap we got to deal with. Not so much regulatory, but just the marketplace, weather, climate. These are things we're all. So we're trying to build a place that can be as resilient to all these external factors. So low input, keeping our cows in a high plane of nutrition, trying to always improve our ground, improving its ability to hold water, grow more grass. And so we think this technique is the best for making the grass as healthy as it can be. And it seems to be working well for the performance of the cattle.